What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So let's do something that I honestly never really talk about. Let's have a discussion on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a position that I don't hold, right? Nor do I really fully believe in, you know, where it will 100% go and what people believe that this would be in the beginning stages because it has changed. And it's great to have change, it is, but obviously, if you have that change to where people are still preaching what that was versus what it is, I think that's a whole different kind of conversation we need to have. I can't look at it the same way. I really can't. And I don't think anybody else should as well, but then they're still claiming that it can do what it did before, right? Um, Obviously, with having a lot of the same mindset, sort of the same mindset than what we have now, if that makes sense. But I want to talk about Bitcoin in this video because there are many different conversations talking about Bitcoin getting to much higher prices. Not only reaching $100,000 or $200,000, we're talking about becoming a millionaire off of one Bitcoin, right? Making $1 million off of one singular Bitcoin. Or if you have a half a Bitcoin, you can make a $500,000, or you can make maybe $1 million, depending how high people truly believe that the peak point of this is. Now, it's just interesting to me to see these level of price predictions, but I can't blame them because I see those same levels market cap wise within XRP and what XRP could do. But when you look at it compared to kind of where the gold market is, if that's where the comparison is, you may not see that same thing there. So let's talk about Bitcoin in this video. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you guys check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Patreon, you can definitely do that. Now, don't forget, if you guys want to trade Bitcoin at up to 100x leverage, you can trade over on Margex. That's a platform that I use. I trade Bitcoin all the time. I have Bitcoin over there right now. And I collect multiple Bitcoin. I just don't keep it, right? I put it in other plays. And maybe down the line, if Bitcoin is somehow at the same price, it's a possibility to leave it as that store of value where I don't want to, put it anywhere else. So again, let's have this conversation. Where is this conversation coming from? Right? I saw an an article or a couple of articles where it was talking about Kathy Wood. And Kathy Wood talking about reiterating her prediction of where Bitcoin will be, calling Bitcoin a financial superhighway, and seeing a price reaching $1.5 million by 2030. This is a prediction. In 6 years, we will see Bitcoin at $1.5 million, meaning that if you hold one Bitcoin, currently valued at around 60 plus $1,000, you will be a millionaire from holding that one Bitcoin. If you hold multiple, if you hold two Bitcoin, three Bitcoin, five Bitcoin, you now are a multi-millionaire just from holding this level of Bitcoin. Now we have to understand what that entails. We have to understand what market cap that gets to, if it's feasible, and if it makes sense compared to other things that kind of are the same, within the same context of what Bitcoin is. So if we look at where Bitcoin is right now, Bitcoin currently stands at $63,952.96. It's up about 5%. And we're seeing it climb right now. It's climbing up to 64. It may hit 64 by the time we end, this video, or even end just having a discussion about Bitcoin. The current market cap is at a $1.2 trillion market cap, where we're seeing a $42.8 billion worth of volume. That's a lot of money that's going through one position. Bitcoin currently holds 54.2% of the dominance of the market, according to CoinMarketCap. I know it may be different elsewhere depending on what coins they track as well. But you're seeing 19.6 million that's out there. 93% of the supply has been mined, and then you have the rest of the supply that still can be mined. And with the Bitcoin halving, it makes it a little bit more difficult to mine Bitcoin, or the same amount of Bitcoin that you have, right? It cuts those rewards in half. Um, so with that being said, we could see the level of growth that we had within this. If we look at the last year, this growth going from 28, or I guess some maybe even lower points of 25, all the way up to a high of like 73 or 74, and then seeing this kind of consolidation tells us we're going to see kind of maybe a little bit of a bounce around the 61 level or something, and see that pick up to 70, 80, 90, 100. And these are where the predictions of getting to a $100,000 by the end of this year come from, or getting to $150,000 by the end of this bull run. But there's also major predictions that come later down the line, or I guess they're here, but the prices will come later down the line, where we may see upwards of $1.5 million per coin. Now, that's insane. Now, what is Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin before, when I first got into cryptocurrency, was all about Bitcoin becoming the world currency. People utilizing Bitcoin in a way so that they can spend money to buy this water bottle, or they can spend money to buy these meta glasses, or whatever. They spend money, they spend the cryptocurrency, and they convert everything, or people hold it to that, and it's going to be easily accessible and usable everywhere, rather than having to convert to a different currency, or people just accepting the dollar in different countries, right? However, there were some major issues, right? It's slow, it's costly, it's not energy efficient, it's bad for the environment, right? So there's so many different errors, so many different problems with that. And I think you still live on those things where, it's not energy efficient. Proof of work just it's just not something that sits well with people right now. Even with Ethereum and how long it does take, even though that's quicker than Bitcoin, it still takes a long time, and it costs quite a bit in order to go through those transactions, right? But if it was going to become the world currency, it would need to change some things. It would need to be fast. It would need to be efficient. It would need to be cheap. It would need to be reliable, secure. All of these things that we need within this one currency. And while security is kind of the only thing that we could say was definitely there, that's not enough. So you look at things like Ethereum, you look at things like Solana and XRP as that world currency. So where does that leave Bitcoin? It leaves Bitcoin not worthless. It leaves it as a store of value, comparable to what gold is. And if we were to take that and compare it to gold, we would look at gold's market cap, and it currently stands at, as of March 2024, $14.66 trillion. That's a lot. So getting to a $1 trillion, $2 trillion market cap is not out of the question for Bitcoin, if that truly can be comparable to gold. And if we look at that on my spreadsheet that breaks down the market cap, it also breaks down a little bit more if you have an exit plan. Feel free to get this spreadsheet, not only for Bitcoin, but for many other positions. You can see all these positions down here if you want to build your own exit plan. Remember, the hardest part of investing is selling your position. Whether it's at a positive gain or positive or negative, it's very difficult. So feel free to check out this spreadsheet. The link is in the description for my Patreon. But what we want to do is we want to kind of compare it to that market cap. And I would say somewhere in between the $500,000 mark and the $1 million mark shows us the level of where Bitcoin could be, right? If we were looking at a $750,000 mark, that would basically say that we would be at a 14.6, and that's $750,000 mark, 14.6 or 14.7 trillion dollar market cap, meaning that a $750,000 market cap is not out of the question. So does that mean that $1 million is out of the question as well? Or not as well, or is it out of the question? No. Honestly, it's not. If Bitcoin has the level of popularity, worldwide, and I would say definitely more like easily accessible there, you could see a $20 trillion market cap. It is hard to believe when you're only seeing the crypto market worth a total of 2.3 or 2 point something trillion dollars. Why would you see Bitcoin at 20 trillion dollars holding all of the value? Well, you're probably going to see other things that also add to that value, but Bitcoin is going to be worth a lot more. Do I see it truly happening? Honestly, I was going to say that I can see upwards of 500,000. I wasn't going to say that we were going to see over the $10 trillion mark for Bitcoin. I thought Ethereum was definitely going to take over that spot, but we're talking about just as a store of value, it still can be worth over that $10 trillion mark and have Ethereum worth 10, 20 trillion dollars, or XRP being worth 20, 40, 50 trillion dollars, depending on the use there, which could be as a standard transaction based currency, right? Being the actual world currency, which would be very interesting. So, is it absurd to say 1.5 million dollars per coin for Bitcoin? No. That's a $29 trillion market cap. Sounds absurd, but when you compare it to the gold market and understand what Bitcoin is, I would say you probably look at this as one, easily transferable, so it's something you can purchase with rather than going to the store and saying, "Hey, I want to buy something. Here's gold." Like that's difficult to do, right? It's more about trading that rather than going, "Hey, I want to buy this bag of chips. Here's a little bit of gold." No, that's more of like you have the value, you're storing it for later, and gold will be worth more. It will, appreciate in value, but so will Bitcoin. But it's also easier to use than gold would be. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that Bitcoin will reach a $1.5 million price per coin level by 2030? I'd like to know your opinion in the comment section below. But guys, if you could, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links that are down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to check out Margex, that link is down there. You can trade up to 100x leverage. I don't recommend it. Trade probably like 5 to 10x leverage, not 100x leverage. But if you're feeling bold and you have a great strategy, you can do it and you can make a lot of money. But just be careful. Trade responsibly. I'm going to get out of here and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.